Okay, everyone, if we could get this meeting back to order. We're at Public Works and Environmental Services. On page 59, staff report PW 12-93, gating of fourth concession of South Walsingham. Mr. DeHaan, please. Or is it...
I'll open it up here, Chair. First, we handed out a number of colored photographs because when you reproduce them in black and white of the lane itself that Bill had taken, so you can review that as we go along. We've had a request by the Nature Conservancy of Canada, who owns all the land on each side of this unopened dirt road, referred to as the fourth concession of South Walsingham. Bill has put an excellent report together. This is our third one in probably many to come yet, and our approach has been each one has to be handled on its own merits. In this case, Nature Conservancy have requested it. They're all the property owners along that property. There's no other accesses required for that. We propose, as Bill has suggested, putting a gate up there, making it still accessible for the walking public, plus a key for the Nature Conservancy to gain access to it. The fire department, they know of these gated operations, and we have told them just cut the chain. We have no problem if there's a problem back there. Some of them do have keys, but lots of times, who worries if you have a fire out there, you're not going to go and get the keys, just cut it or pull the fence down when you get there. Bill, would you like to add anything else?
Through the chair to county councilor, I think the only thing I'd like to add is the two previous road allowances we gated were Plowman's Lane and Bilger's Side Road. Both have worked out really well. They have served the purpose. The landowners around there are very happy. And as Eric said, we have quite a few of these unmaintained road sections which may lend themselves to being gated. And road staff, this is a particular one which I looked at, but we kind of waited for the request to come through. And with the Nature Conservancy purchasing Bacchus Woods, plus another two private people, there are only in the Nature Conservancy as well as one private owner who we've talked to. So the less people we have to deal with for the gating, the better. Also, this does not stop the roads department from going down and grading, trimming trees, that sort of thing. It still will be some maintenance work, but as you can see from the photos, we won't spend near as much money as we do now. I think with this one, there's also a safety aspect. I don't know if I mentioned in the report, but living just 4 roads north of this, quite often in the spring and fall, you'll see a car, small truck stuck there. So obviously somebody's had to walk out, get a tow truck, and the locals all have stories of pulling people out of there. So I think with that, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'll turn it over to County Council for questions.
Yep. Councillor Geisens?
Yeah, can I go to attachment 1? I just want some clarification. With the dark area, that's where the gates are going, or are they going at the east quarter line and I guess at Highway 59?
Through the chair to Council Geisens, yes, it will be gated just off of the east quarter line on the east end, and the gates will not be at 59 on the west end. That is actually a maintained road down to where the bush starts. So the gate will be installed at the bush lot, and anybody west of there will still have access to their house.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Oliver?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And my question was similar, and I appreciate Mr. Cridland's answer. It is appropriate to have it gated at the woodlot line, but I wouldn't have wanted to see it any further west than that, because there will be people who want to gain pedestrian access to the Fourth Road concession and do their tour in Bacchus Woods from there rather than always from Highway 24 or always from the south. So that's good that would be gated only at that point. My only other question, Mr. Chairman, I recall there was that one other private property right smack in the middle of the Bacchus Woods complex on the fourth concession. Is that piece still privately owned, or has even it now been acquired by NCC?
Through the chair, there still is one private, I don't know if I can say the name, property owner that owns both a lot on the north side and the south. They're both
That's
small
correct.
Pieces, but they are right in the middle, so I think that's what you're referring to.
That is what I'm referring to. And would they be given a key as well?
Yes, what we do is a horseshoe type thing. The current conservancy would have their key,
and
county
they're
key. and the private owner would have his, he could go in to cut firewood and do what he wanted to.
Okay, and so in other words, they too are okay, as is NCC, with this recommendation to gate that road.
Yes, both parties are in favor, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Columbus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To Mr. Cridland, at one time I did observe a tractor with some equipment using this road, and I noticed on your one picture here, there are tire tracks. Just wondered, is this a heavily traveled road for farm equipment during the harvest season?
Through the chair, I wouldn't say the farming community doesn't use it. However, with the narrow culvert, you couldn't get a very big size a combine. You may get a small utility tractor across there. So to answer your question, the farming community may slip through there. However, with the condition of the roads, there's times they can't even get through with a tractor.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Cheney, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Having birded along this road, I know what a mess it can get to be, so I'm really looking forward to the time it's going to be gated. And I would like to move the recommendation on page 61.
Okay. Councillor Cheney has moved the recommendation in the report. Councillor Black?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to support it because it'll stop people like me going down there and getting stuck. Had to be pulled out by Nick DiZerano from LPRCA once.
Parking,
Okay. Councillor Cheney has moved the recommendation in the report, which essentially says we're going to gate off a portion of 4th Concession in South Walsingham. All those in favor? That is carried. Bringing us to staff report PW 12-94, request for an all-way stop at Delcrest Ave and Marshall Ave in Delhi.
Chair, Mr. Cridland will handle the next three reports. They're all very similar.